Hello everyone, this is Sean 007-1986. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday evening. Well, no surprise there, we got another head coach getting fired. I swear, so let me see. So this week we had two head two head coaches fired and one GM got fired. Man, this is getting crazy, but this one I was like, wow. So yeah, the New Orleans Pelicans, have fired Willie Green. The New Orleans head coach ousted after a miserable 2-10 start. James Borrego will be named as interim head coach for the remainder of the season. I mean, this from CBS Sports. The New Orleans Pelicans are firing head coach Willie Green after a 2-10 start to the 2025-2026 season, the team announced Saturday. Green, initially hired after a strong stint as the assistant under Monty Williams with the Phoenix Suns in 2021, was let go early in the fifth season of his tenure in New Orleans after a disappointing start that included an NBA record three 30-point losses in the first six games. In their first six games. Yikes. Yeah, I'm no expert on the. Yeah, I've been playing sports games for most of my life, and I've been watching games all night. But here's the thing: when you rack up three 30-point losses in your first six games, yeah, there was no way you're surviving that, man. You're on. Yeah, associate associate head coach James Borrego has been named the interim head coach. After careful evaluation, we have made the difficult decision to make a change at head coach, Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations Joe Dumars said in a statement. I have the utmost respect for Willie Green, and I'm sincerely appreciative of his contribution to the Pelicans organization and the New Orleans community. We wish him and his family all the best in the future. Green's time with the Pelicans began with a moniker of promise. He took over the team just two seasons into the promising career of Zion Williams. New Orleans was, at the time, still loaded with draft capital from the Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday trades. They still have a wealth of young talent led by Williamson and Brandon Ingram, and a stellar 2021 draft class featuring Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, and Jose Alvarado only raise expectations. However, those talented young players all struggled to stay healthy for a New Orleans team that could never find a consistent lineup. During the one stretch in which the Pelicans could largely muster the same starting lineup between early December of 2023, when they got CJ McCollum back from injury, and March of 2024 when they lost Ingram to another one, they went 31-16 and looked like a real Western Conference sleeper. Ingram's injury slowed the Pelicans down, and the Williamsons suffered his own in the play-in tournament afterwards. The Pelicans haven't been competitive since getting swept out of the playoffs by the Thunder soon after, before finishing 21-61 during an injury-riddled 2024-2025 season. At the end of the season, David Griffin, the general manager who hired Green, was fired and replaced by Joe Dumars. Rather than bring in his own coach immediately, Dumars allowed Green to start this season and attempt to prove that he was the man for the job long term. I see. I had to read this carefully because whoever the person who wrote this article, Sam Quinn, he made a grammar error. Grammar error. See the way I was saying this. I know. See, when I was reading this part, Dumars allow Green to start the season and attempt. Well, what it was meant. Okay, what it meant was said was like Dumars allowed Green to start in season and attempt to prove that he was the man for the job long term. It's supposed to be Dumars allowed Green to start the season and attempt to prove that he was the man for a long term. Like seriously though, I mean, if you're gonna write a news article, at least proofread your work before you post it. You know. But back to this article. Ultimately, he couldn't do so. The Pelicans have lost their first 6 games by 107 points. Perhaps more distressing for the team's long-term outlook has been Green's reluctance to use rookie Derek Queen in meaningful minutes. Aside from a single 34-minute outing against the Spurs that came with no other big man besides Williamson available, Queen has largely played between 10 to 20 minutes per game. Considering the Pelicans gave away unprotected control of their 2026 first-round pick to get him, the front office surely wants to see more of him this season. Over the summer, the New York Knicks attempt to poach Borrego away to serve as the top assistant to their new head coach Mike Brown. The Pelicans elected not to give the Knicks permission to interview him. Now, the former Charlotte Hornets coach steps in as the interim choice for the Pelicans. Borrego in the short term, and whoever has the job in the long term have the work cut out for them. The Pelicans have been in New Orleans since 2003 and have only won 2 playoff series despite drafting 3 superstars talents in Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and Zion Williamson, all of whom have been on the majority of their rosters in the span. The rosters between Williamson's diminishing production, limited shooting, and inexperienced front court, and all of the money tied up in the currently injured DeJounte Murray needs serious upgrades if it is going to be competitive in the near term. Replacing Green will be just the start of what is likely to be a long and painful rebuild in New Orleans. I mean, I can't really blame the New Orleans for doing this because honestly, they need to do something. And it's going to be one of those long and painful rebuilds, something that teams dread of doing. That's for dang sure. So, of course, they're going to be working on a rebuild. Of course, they're going to be trying to fix this up. But will it be enough to get the team back to its old ways? Will it be enough to turn the team into a championship contender? Because here's the thing: the thing is that they have to figure out what to do. I think I think the problem with the team is that that most of their they have some good players and they always need a few more pieces. But I think they need to get some players, to add some depth in the bench, just in case one of the players go down with injury, and get some actual players that can actually help play games, win games for that team, and win championships. But yeah, I mean Willie Green, he was reluctant to play Queen, who is an obvious big man. Reminds me of reminds me of JJ Redick when we had a big man on our team when we were in the playoffs, and he didn't play him. If he would have played him, then we would have had a chance of beating the Minnesota Timberwolves, but we didn't. So obviously that team's going to go through a lot and pay for a rebuild, and I hope they might do so well. I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? But we'll definitely see how this plays out for them. We'll really do. But let me know what y'all think. As always, be sure to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Click the notification bell so don't miss our update. Share with friends, share with neighbors, share with others, and that's about it. Until next time, this is Sean071986 signing off. Thank you for watching this video. It really means a lot. I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later. Bye-bye.